Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi everyone, this is Natalie Dejean. This is Natalie Jean. This is Chatting with Nat. Today we have the honor of having award-winning singer-songwriter Windwalker. Grammy nominated, multi-award-winning artist, singer-songwriter Windwalker has risen to become an influential Ethno and New Age artist in the U.S. music scene. Her recent publication captures a musician at the height of her creative powers. Her latest self-titled album explores the cultural influences of Native American and world sounds. Windwalker's music focuses on bridging the gap between modern and native sounds, preserving elements of tradition, song, dance, and rhythm for tomorrow's listeners. Let's give Windwalker a round of applause. Hi, Windwalker. How are you?
I am wonderful. Awani, how are you? Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited.
It's my honor. It's my honor. I am doing okay. I am, trying to survive this thing we have called for the past couple of years a pandemic. It's just been surreal. It's been crazy. Like I've told other people, sometimes I lay back and I think, are we really living in the situation where we're wearing masks outside? Or when I go to the grocery stores, I take a minute to look at everybody and think, I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. These are things you usually think about that would have happened in 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, not in 2021. It's the 21st century. But I guess anything can happen at any time. So how have you been during this pandemic?
This pandemic, I moved right in the middle of it, and music-wise, it was pretty hard, hit hard, of course, like all of us. But I stayed very, very well. I've always been an herbalist, so I've stayed on herbs, and I'm in a place where it's perfect, so nothing can really grow inside your body. Dry air and lots of sunshine, and great. We have the 4 seasons here, but it was pretty interesting to talk about the masks and everything. And yeah, I kept feeling like I was seeing bandits everywhere. I was going to get, oh no, and that's really funny because this has happened every 100 years. So it's 1820, 1920, and then 2020. So this is nothing new in a sense, I guess. But yeah, I didn't think we'd ever see it either. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's been, you don't know the rules and regulations anymore because you don't know what's happening. But
no. I mean, it changes every day, and then new variants start to form, and some are bad, some are not. This, that, and the other. We can only do what we can do at the present time, and just to try to survive on our own and pray, and it's good that you're an herbalist and do all that stuff. My mom is a nutritionist, so she's been doing a lot of different natural stuff to get by. Unfortunately, I did get COVID in December, and it was horrific. And I was pretty healthy and stuff like that. I actually think I got it because I was going to the gym, but I was still wearing gloves and all this stuff. But anyway, so it's been crazy. Now, during the pandemic, did you do any live streaming at all?
I did. And mainly what I did was I was working, I still do, for the San Diego schools. It was actually it's called One World Music, and it's an organization that takes all different kind of cultures, and you go to different schools. So what I did was I just did online whole teaching for them, and things like that. So yeah, I did a few quick concerts, especially at the ocean with water ceremonies, but yeah, and everything just stopped.
Yeah,
So.
everything was just like, but during obviously the pandemic was awful with people dying and getting sick, amputations, all kinds of, severe damages to their bodies. There were a few bright sides during this time. Because people took some time to reflect. I know I have some friends that decided to cut back on work because they realized they weren't spending enough time with their family members. That was the one big thing for me. I saw way more families spending time with their families. I mean, just walking around it was completely surreal to me. Some people decided to quit their jobs because they said, this is not for me. I need to do something that makes me happy. Climate change. My God, the pollution went down. I mean, Mother Nature was happy. The animals were happy. They were outside. It's like, well, where are the people? Who cares? We're going to run out around and do our thing. And then you had, I read an article that went over the fact that people were quitting their jobs because people had a lot of time to think about what they really wanted to do with their lives. I've had artists that said they totally rebranded themselves. They really want to be more of an effective player with their music. So during this time, did you take time to self-reflect about who you want to be as an artist, or do you already know who you want to be? Did you make any decisions about your artistry?
That's a really good question. I wanted to expand more on my artistry for basically, I was known for my traditional drumming and flute, and and then this new album is coming. But before I would talk about that, the inspiration coming back to New Mexico here was a lot of the bluegrass genre and the country western genre, which I used to play with some of the old ones of bluegrass music a long time ago. I used to be the spoon woman of Rhode Island. I used to play the Cajun spoons. So, I think I'm going to reflect on that. I've reflected on some more personal songs and more about the environment and about the children. So yeah, I think it's really, it didn't slow me down per se, because when we moved, we went from one farm to another farm, and we have horses and we have cats. We're a rescue, and we have one rabbit who thinks she's a cat. So I kept very busy with that too, and kept up busy with working with the children out here with the horses too. So yeah, that's going to be a whole nother thing. Yeah, so that really helped. It really helped. And you're right so much, because what I'd love to see is the families out finally together and hanging out and not being on their phones.
Ooh,
they
I know.
really was just really pushing the kids and talking and playing ball. And, I love that. I really, because, it's silly to say, but it's so true. The children are our future.
Right.
And, we're getting older, and we need this all this healing to help. And that's what we're here. We're for that root to help them heal. And to be with them was amazing. So, yeah, there is some pros and cons about the whole situation, I think, and brought people closer together. And it also is going to bring a lot of babies. It's kind of like the Blizzard of 78.
Yes. Babies were born because people had nothing else to do but procreate.
I know 5 pregnant people right now. 5 pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if the intention was to procreate. I think maybe the intention was to have some fun, and in that fun, babies came out. Or it could be the procreation. Well, I wasn't there.
Absolutely.
But we have a lot of children running around. You're right. You're 100% right. What was it about the music industry that made you gravitate towards it? Was it something that you saw, you heard? What gave you that whoa or aha moment that you said, okay, music is me, I've got to do this music thing?
Oh, I was raised with it.
Okay.
I was totally raised with a traditional, and we had a saying, we had our moccasins in 2 canoes. The outside world, I wasn't raised on a reservation. And I was raised in a very, very, very small town, and also raised on a very small island. And so with that said, music was in my family consistently. We had the traditional, and my dad was a drummer. He was also a jazz drummer. And so we also had kits. So we had a native, and he also had a kit. So, yeah, I was exposed to a lot. I actually play tenor sax, and I do a lot of jazz with my tenor and blues and things like that, because I was raised with that. And it was amazing that I knew that that's all I wanted to do besides doing the medicine, doing the Native American medicine. But really, I knew that everything I went to, I danced in the aisles at the grocery stores when they had, in the elevators, when they had the elevator, I was dancing, I was humming, I was harmonizing, I was doing a beat. I knew something, it's just in my blood. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I love that. What is your native background?
My native background is Micmac or Mi'kmaq from Maine. Okay. We're from the Wabanaki Confederacy. That's my mother's tribe. The Wabanaki Confederacy consists of the Abenaki, the Micmac, the Passamaquoddy, the Penobscot, and the Maliseet tribes. And my dad was East Bend Cherokee and Lenape or Delaware. They know us by Delaware, but we're really actually Lenni Lenape. So I'm from the East Coast. We're a keeper of the dawn, and I'm born in the Fox Clan, and I'm born for the Bird Clan.
Awesome. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
How important is it for you to be authentic in your music?
It was very, very important because I promised my grandmother. The authenticity of our music is to heal, is to make to the vibration of the circle of drum. It represents a circle of life. We are the givers of life. And the women were the ones that started the drum. And when that vibration, the healing prayer, that we have songs for every occasion. And so with that said, we also wanted to, and nations are all different, but what all nations wanted to do was share it. It's like we share our music through the radio and through right now through your blog and all that. Well, they would share it when they travel, but different languages, with different dialects were really hard because, see, our tribes are more permanent. Like the Lakota and everything, they had teepees and they followed buffalo. So they were the first campers. So they were constantly moving. So, but we would teach them with yas and was or vocables. But you can put your own prayers in there, you can put your own words in there that you need. And the whole thing was all about that earthy, keeping that grounding and keeping the people real and understanding that we are all one. My grandma would she'd bring me to a city and she'd say, "You see that little boy over there? Oh, with fiery red hair. If he fell down and scraped his knee, he'd bleed red."
Right.
Oh, that old woman, so she said, we all bleed red. And she said, so she said, child, one day they're going to try to assimilate us. They're going to take away everything that we have. I need you to keep up the traditions. So I did. So I actually really, really did it for her, and my mom, but my grandmother was the one that was my inspiration.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
I do world music as well, and I do, Haitian Creole music, and, sometimes, obviously, and not everybody can understand it unless you speak Haitian Creole, but people seem to enjoy the music. You find that to your Native American music through the music industry?
It's I feel it's one of the hardest ones for people to listen to because, like I said, it's almost like any kind of singers. There are different drummers. There's Southern drum and Northern drum and woodland drum, and they sing in different tones. And most of the drums you hear now are men drums, and they sing that. Like someone's pinching their toe. And after a while, if you don't have that pitch or you're not raised with that, that's very, very hard to understand and very hard to get into, right? But ours is very deep, very, very low. And I with that, if you get a good drummer and good drum, with that spirit, you really feel it. But as far as hearing it, it's really, really tough. It's not something that you can just throw out there because it doesn't have a lot of hoopla in it. It doesn't have a quartet, doesn't have, any electronics behind it. It's a straight out, reverb with drum and voice. And it's all about healing and heart and tradition. So, but then again, look what happened with my traditional. It got a nomination, which that was my grandmother, all 100%. So who knew? I still cry when I feel that because, I just wanted people to heal and feel that healing that has been so old. I mean, some of those songs are like old, like 1600s, and some are up to, the 1800s. So, but yeah, it was very, out of all the genres I could do, Natalie, and I can do them all, that was the hardest to be in the music industry. Yes, I say, yeah, it was the hardest. So, yeah, you get it.
No, I completely understand. What was the inspiration for your latest album?
My inspiration for my latest album, I was at the 58th Grammy after party, and I met this he was a videographer, he told me at that time, and a producer and singer, and Rick Peters, and he had tattoos on his arm, and he said, I was asking him, we sat down when we started, we met like at the night before, and I met him, I saw him at the party, and we sat down, and I was talking to him, and I asked him about his tattoos, and he said he actually got them as a vision, and that started that whole thing of, well, I told him about his tats and stuff, and then he said, well, then we spoke afterwards, and he said, what would you really like to do? And I said, I'd really like to tell my story. I'd like to tell my story about having my moccasins in two canoes, the outside world and the native world, and I really want to show people, too, that you can be any indigenous, you can be anything, and make everything what's in your heart swirl out into the music world. And, so what I did was I wanted to show people different ways, and this whole new music is about my life, and so the three of us, Rick Peters and myself, and Trait Razor, which is also that's his company, Miss Icaboni, and so we all went in and we wrote together my life, basically, together about what was going on. And one of my favorites is, because I work also with teenage suicide prevention, and I work with, and one of it was the song of The Key is You Can Give Up Your Pain.
Right.
Because the river washes it away because I do water ceremonies, and it's really incredible on how that, and it was just a really, really short song. That's the first song that came in. And then Sweet Comfort, where Rick wrote, and, we all put together, and I'm the singer on it. It was all about, he says, what do you do? I said, everything's about the children. Everything is about the children and animals, but the children are just really amazing, and they need comfort. Boom. Yeah. So the inspiration was, even before, this is way before COVID hit. This was actually written 2 years ago, but it was shelved. And then it came back out at the right time, I feel, and then COVID hit. So it was like, whoa, it did. The dam, it's about calling, the flood. It's all about our Native men and all our men out there. Let me put it that way. All our men out there are drowning. They're drowning because they don't have any mentors. They don't have any good teachers anymore. And so it's hard to teach the young ones how to raise up to be that strong person and believe in your dreams, and and follow them, and don't let anyone stop you, and be as one, and stop being so segregated in all situations, no matter what it is, including yourself. Don't even segregate within yourself. Like no doubt, no self-doubt. And so it's just been incredible. It's just been so incredible. And I can sing in different tones, and I can play different things, and But my message out there was the inspiration basically was that you can walk strongly with both feet on the ground if you really believe in yourself, and people believe in you, they're going to follow and they're going to make it happen. And that's what these two producers did, you know, and myself. It's just, I'm very, very, very happy. So, yeah, but that's how that was inspired, and that's my inspiration.
All right. So I'm going to play your song, The Journey. Tell us what that's about.
That's really cool. Now, this is my blues about, I was asked, what do you do, what do the Micmac do when you journey? What happens? You know, you have a wake, do you have, and I said, no, actually, we are the inventors of the birch bark canoe. So your body would be laid in the birch bark canoe and the things that you need for the next life, and then at the ocean, and then you would be pushed out, be set on fire. You would have all the elements, and we say this is how the Vikings got this idea. And so the first part is all about that, and how the French came over with gold, and they said our whole world revolved around gold, our whole world. And we were like, we couldn't understand what that meant. So then we saw the greed. We saw the greed with that gold. So that's part of the don't, you know, bury, you'll see the set it free, because money isn't everything. Then the question was, what is your angst right now in this lifetime? And I said, well, you know, pretty darn good, but my son won't speak to me because of his wife at that time, and he still won't speak to me. It's just, he will come around. And so I said, so that saddens me. And so we sat down and we wrote the second part about my son. Yeah. And so every son that's out there, just know, even if you have not spoken to your mother, there's always a star that you both can look at in the sky in the evening and still connect, even though you hold her deep, deep inside.
That's right. That's right. You heard it. All right. Well, let's play the song, The Journey.
When I'm at my journey's end, no longer by your side, when I reach the other side, I know you begin to cry. When your heart fills up with pain, remember what I told. Set it free with love. Don't bury me with gold.
I love that. That was very groovy. I was grooving along.
Thank you.
What is the writing process?
Pardon? Yeah, Camilo and I wrote that together. Camilo Icaboni and I.
Yep. And what is your writing process like? I know that when I write a song, I usually have a theme, and I start off with the chorus, and then I'll throw words on the screen or on the sheet of paper, and then just pick each word to go along with the song. So what is your process like? And if you ever get writer's block, how do you deal with that?
I have the weirdest songwriting ever. If you ever came into workshop, it would be like the one you never go to. It's hysterical. Although I do know it's most of my songs either I'm on a highway and I'm and all of a sudden I'll start writing about what's going on right there, and I'll be singing it and doing the melody together. So I'll grab, I'll just try to remember it. I'll pull over and I'll grab the recorder. A lot of times, mainly, it's my songwriting ends up always about the stories that I see or I've experienced, and or other people have in the now, and that's always that's like the verse and then a chorus and a verse. Okay, it's just it's I don't. Then sometimes someone will do chords. We'll start just playing guitar, and I'll make a whole song up right then and there, and not remember it, but I'll make it up. I'll make it right then and there.
I love
it
that.
Depends on the. It's not structured.
Yeah,
it's not.
I mean, the best place that I find that I get creative is in the shower. And I was talking to somebody once, and they said it's probably because of the acoustics. You're by yourself in there, and you just feel relaxed. Oh my God, I come up with the best stuff, and then I can't remember anything. Now I'm starting to bring my phone in the bathroom with me, but I want to create a gadget that you can put actually in the shower that does away with the shower noise, and then you can just hit a button, it's waterproof, and boom, bam. It'll allow you to remember everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to. I create some bad stuff, and then I can't remember it once I get up. It's really crazy. I know. It's just stupid. What do you love about being an artist?
I love giving messages out there. I love seeing change people's lives. I love what it does to my soul, and I love what it does to even the world, like the plants and everything. I feel we're all connected. So it's just like it's a great high. It's beyond. It's euphoric.
And you do help a lot of people. One person that I got the chance to speak with is Sete. She's a wonderful person. She speaks very highly of you.
You're glitching in and out. Could you please repeat that?
I said that you work with younger people or children or whoever is very exciting. And to speak on, just touch on one person, Sete I was able to interview that you introduced me to. She speaks very highly of you.
Oh, thank you. And I think, how wonderful. Thank you so much. That's awesome to hear.
That she loves you. She's always so grateful, and she has a very kind heart. But she just adores you. And I know that you guys don't live close to each other anymore, but anytime I talk to her, she's always like, yes, Windwalker this, Windwalker that. So you do have an effect on them. That's wonderful. So the next song I'm going to play is Sweet Comfort. Tell us what that's about.
Sweet Comfort was written by Rick Peters when I told him that what I'd love to do is that everything is about the children, and we have to give them comfort in this world. Yeah. And remember, this was way before COVID hit, and it just came out and I got this vision. I said, I just want this beautiful song about the children, and also I want people to understand that we are water, and healing waters is
right.
so part of us. So if we heal our inner waters and our outer waters with, also with these children, we have a fantastic future. So that's what it's all about. Oh,
Right.
and I also collaborated with Ricky Kedge, and
Right.
it goes all the way out to, he did a beautiful part all the way from India for the India children. Excuse me. I got frogged up. For the India children also. So it goes all over the world. Oh.
I love that. All right, let's play Sweet Comfort.
As the wind blows from the north and the sun rises from behind me, look west to the spirit of the children. Give them comfort, sweet comfort. Hold down the moon and round the stars above. Shower them with your spirit light. Embrace their future from the past. Generations give comfort, sweet comfort. Sweet comfort. Blows from the north and the sun rises from behind me. Look west to the spirit of the children. Give them comfort, sweet comfort. Hold down the moon and round the stars above. Shower them with your spirit light. Embrace their future from the past. Generations give comfort, sweet comfort. Sweet comfort.
That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Nikki, thank you.
You were nominated for a Grammy. How did you feel when you got nominated?
I got out of breath. My grandmother came to me, and I started crying, and I kept looking because I put my glasses on, and then I called my producer, and she said, Carla LaRive says, "Oh no, honey, darling, I just think we were just considered," and that's how she speaks. She's so calm all the time. And I'm like, "Hey, I sound like a little squirrel," and and she said, and all of a sudden she opens her computer and she goes, "Oh my, oh my, oh my," and then I just started bawling because it was the ultimate thank you for Indigenous culture and music and the status to get up there, to, not to have all the hoopla things and not, go into, I didn't have all the foo-foo stuff, and I just felt so honored, and I'm still on that high. It's just so, yay, you know? And it's not about the fame, it's about the tradition, like, it got heard, yes, it got up there.
Yeah, you know? And, you know, as independent artists, for you to have been heard and seen and all this, that's amazing. Kudos to you. You can be on a high as long as you want to, because that is a true achievement.
Thank you. Woo! Okay. Yeah.
What is the one thing, or name 3 things that you wish you would have known before you got involved in the music industry?
Publicity, management, how to get it out there so the publicist or something like that. Yeah, promos, and the third one, that's a good one. The third one, I think more mentors out there.
Yeah.
To help in any way. Yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of those things are very important, because one of the things, I think the major thing for me is that, you know, people just don't realize how hard this business is and the work that goes into it. Doing music is like a 24/7 job, because we have to be on every damn platform there is, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, this chat, Clubhouse, TikTok, and stuff like that. And, you know, we're competing against mainstream artists, and it's very tough. It can be done if you have a lot of perseverance, you believe in yourself, you love your music, everything that you put out, and you're authentic to your craft. But it does take a lot of work, and I agree with you. You know, my friend Valerie, who manages Ricky Prasad, her son, and she said one thing she wishes that every person that's studying music would take an artist management course, because, you know, I agree with her. You should know more than the person that's going to approach you, or you should know, just like that person, on the equal level of really knowing how to read these agreements. It doesn't matter if you have somebody that can read them for you. You should be able to understand them, because when you start out on this journey, you have so many people that will come to you and say, oh, I can do this for you, and I can do that for you. Oh, just sign this. And sometimes you give away your things because you so want to be in the limelight, or whatever your goal is with the music industry. So yeah, and the promotional aspect, my God, there's so many things. There's so many free things that you can do. There's things that you can pay for. You can buy. You can hire a PR people as well. It's just it's a lot of work.
It is, and sponsors. We need sponsors, music sponsors.
And sponsors, and that's not even easy to get either. Because I've actually looked at a lot of those things, but it's not. You have to fill out these long forms. You know, if you're not well known, this, that, and the other. It's just like, you know, when you're starting out in the music industry, a lot of places won't hire you to perform because you don't have experience. So what do? A lot of people do the paper. That's when people start hiring and say, "Oh, you played here? Oh, okay. Let me get you to perform at our venue." It's just it's hard at the same time. You know, we're lucky because we love what we do. And music has a lot of, you know, healing modalities to it. Music makes the world go round, so to speak. What is a message or quotes that you like to use on a daily basis during the month, the year, or whatever, that really pushes you closer towards your goals?
Stay strong and never give up your dream.
Amen.
Stay strong and believe in yourself. No matter what, and no matter who you are, you know who you are, and no one can change that.
No
one
key.
Can change that.
That is key.
You know.
That is key.
You know, and the heart, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And you know, you just learn from both sides. You learn from the strength and the positive, and the negative that comes at you. You just blow it off through the wind. You just keep on going and be strong, and know who you are and follow your dreams and don't let anyone take them away. No one.
I agree. I agree with 100%.
You know? Easy peasy. Like
Easy
my grandbaby
peasy.
would say, easy peasy.
Easy. The number one thing is people need to love themselves. And that's all. Believe it or not, that's the hardest thing for people to do, is to love themselves, because we live in a society where thinking if you love yourself, you're being conceited, but that's not what it is about. If you don't love anything that you do, or you don't love yourself, how do you expect anybody to love what you do and to love you? Because the energy that you're putting off is what? It's not about love. If you have self-hate, that's just not going to work. A person should be able to look at themselves and love every aspect. And even when you're doing music, you know, I always tell people, if you can't listen to your songs on repeat for an hour or at least 30 minutes, don't put the song out. I can do that with my music. I will jam to my own music and have a good time because I don't put anything that I don't love out. That's my energy.
Exactly.
You know? That's the way it should be. That's the way. And
absolutely.
And to stay, like you said, stay true to who you are as an artist. That is muy importante. So what is up for you? What's next for you?
Well, what's next for me is I do have, can I say that? FYC stuff?
Yeah, you can mention FYC. You can mention your FYC. That's it.
I don't know the rules anymore. See, I don't watch regular TV. And
I know. With all the rules, it's like you can just mention it. You can just say, okay, I have this song in this category, and then that's it.
Right. Okay. Hopefully, for the FYC, the album will go up for New Age, but then Sweet Comfort will be Song of the Year and Performance of the Year. But what's up for me next is to start, I would love to do some more, I've been doing some children's shows and storytelling, because winter is very, very important for storytelling, because we didn't punish our children. We gave them stories, and that's really funny, because like a lot of stories out there, when I was 18, when I was 5, I had to walk 10 miles both ways uphill. Ours weren't like that. Ours was also, I'm going to put out some more singles, and I'm going to revamp a few of my old ones that I have that I think now, I didn't know why I wrote them then, and I never released them. Okay. So I'm just going to revamp them because now they're going to come out now. And then hopefully I miss touring. I really miss touring, but because we can't tour, but I would love to pull this new album out and bring it everywhere to help people all over the country. And I'd love to do some music parties and some more music awards and things like that. They're just to get it out there, and get the message out there and enjoy. And, run my farm. And, I do writing lessons, and I work with veterans and children. And and like I said, the teenage suicide prevention and troubled kids and things like that. So, yeah, it's pretty fun. It keeps me really busy. And, yeah, it's really great. You got to come out here, Natalie. I can't wait.
Yes, I will. We'll have to plan it out. Well, Windwalker, thank you so much for being on Chatting with Nat. I truly appreciate your being on my show because you are awesome. Awesome sauce. I hope everybody goes out and listens to your music because it's beautiful, it's spiritual, it's moving, it's touching, it's all things that people need in their lives.
Oh, thank you so much. And we say Wanishi is thank you in Lenape, Wado is thank you in Cherokee, and Woolio, thank you in Micmac or Mi'kmaq.
I got all the thank yous. All right, everybody. Yes. That was award-winning singer-songwriter Windwalker. You can find her at www.windwalkermusic.com. She's amazing. I think you all should follow her. She's just awe-inspiring, and she's a woman. We love women here. Until next time, Windwalker, you have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, and you too, and also blessings to all. Aho.
Blessings to all. All right, everyone. Until next time on Chatting with Nat.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.